Hey girl, hey, this is your girl, your friend, Tahiri Divine. Welcome back to another episode of the Female Alchemy Network. As your host, Tahiri Divine, we talk about all things feminine, alchemy, and entrepreneurship, which I also like to call the business of being a woman, because whether you run a business, have a career, stay-at-home mom, etc., 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 just trying to figure it out, you're a woman and you are a business baby. So yes, so shout out to that. And if you haven't done so, please make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel so that you are always notified when you hit the bell that I have a video that drops. And I also want to give a shout out to my company, because Divinely Kissed, I hope you guys can read that, is live on my Etsy shop. So I have all the links down below if you are interested in getting in touch with the feminine arts of love, beauty, and magnetism. Then that is for you, my spiritual baddies. Make sure you check out the shop. We're going to be relaunching the website for the holidays, so I'm looking forward to getting this website relaunched. So look forward. But until then, go ahead and join my Etsy and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and keep updates with happening with me and everything else. So I want to talk about something that's really interesting and important, is mindset, right? I know you guys hear about a lot of people talking about you have to change your perspective, enhance your mind, but I want to kind of put something in a little bit more bite-sized, tangible for you guys that really had set it off for me on shifting my mindset into entrepreneurship and then just owning myself as a woman. So just a little backdrop of myself, right? When I first started my YouTube channel over 13 years ago, 13 going on to 14 years actually in September, it started off just as a way for me to just share my college experience, post-college experience, and follow me through my journey of understanding my own beauty through my natural hair. And with that came a lot more other insights, which turned this into more of a spiritually centered, focused, and still beauty. I'm looking forward to get more back into some of my beauty aspects that I was doing early on in my life, because I really see how spirituality and beauty fuses together. But before I even get into that topic there, I want to talk about why this mindset shift is going to be very important for you as women. And like I said, it doesn't really matter if you're an entrepreneur, a career woman, someone who just started in college, coming out of college, a mother, whatever. What you're doing is that you're activating yourself in commerce. So I want to talk about this activating source, right? So let's talk specifically about women and money, right? So in astrology, we typically would look at the Venus placement, which Venus rules your money and attraction and beauty. We typically would look there to see what are the ways that you attract money to you when we're talking about specifically money. But I want to kind of look at something differently. I want to look specifically at two houses. And these two houses are not traditionally per se related to money. The money houses, if you are interested in, are the second house, your sixth house, your 10th house, and also your 11th house. Those are typically the traditional houses of money, wealth, etc. But I want to give these honorable mentions to your 12th house and your first house. So the first house is the house of self, which is the house of how you perceive yourself, how you go out in the world. This is where you will find your ascendant or rising sign. And that's just the sign that you show up. Mine is Sagittarius, so I show up as a Sagittarius, although my sun is Libra, right? I view myself as a very outgoing, adventurous, let's go ahead and get it type of person. And to a lot of people, I kind of come off that way too. So that's my perception of myself and how I think I show up in the world. So that's one, right? How you perceive yourself. So I liken this one to dress for the job you want, not the job you have type of house. And as it pertains to your money house. So not only is it how you perceive yourself, it's also how you go out in the world too. So your first house will give you a expansion understanding of how you view yourself and how you see yourself in the world. The next house that's important was the 12th house, which is the last house, which is actually, I think it's interesting that the first house and the 12th house are a 12th house is right next to each other in astrology, because that actually just kind of goes right into what I'm about to get into. So your 12th house is the house that rules the subconscious mind, the the house of the undoing. It has a lot of, it's ruled by the sign of Pisces. So there's a lot of this energy that has to do with a lot of internal things, like other things that the 12th house rules is like prisons and hospitals and this idea of imprisonment, not like 8th house imprisonments, but the one I'm getting to, it's subconscious minds. It's what you subconsciously lock yourself into. It's the psyche. It is all that is, ever was, can, and will be is in your 12th house. I believe, in my understanding, when we look at the science, right? The science of neurology, money. The science of neurology shows us that, the science of neurology explains our reticular activating system. And what that is, it is a network of neurons that is in our brain, in the brainstem, that actually helps us filter information that's taken in from our environment. And through this reticular activating system, or the RAS, what that RAS does for us, it helps us filter out all the information in our environment to go ahead and give to us what we're already focusing on. So again, when it comes to money, when it comes to wealth and that whole type of expansion in your financial life, your first house is about dressing for the job you want, while that 12th house is going to be about your beliefs and thoughts on money. So although in your first house, you may have the mantra and affirmation, I am wealth, I'm abundance, I am driven, I am this, right? That is very much your I am house, which is really great things. That is more your conscious mind. And that kind of makes sense too, because the first house is ruled by Aries, which is the head, also the womb, but we'll talk about that in another video. So your conscious affirmation mind. 12th house is more your subconscious mind that really runs the show. So in your 12th house, although you may be very affirmative positively in your first house, if your 12th house, your subconscious mind, is not in alignment with what you're trying to do in your conscious mind, it actually could be a detriment. So for example, if you believe yourself to not be adequate for a job, promotion, or a raise, or if you don't believe you can make $100,000 in sales in your first year as an entrepreneur, right? Or if you don't believe that you can find you a partner that is financially stable where you guys can grow and expand financially, what the reticular activating system in your body, which I believe is ruled by the 12th house, what that's going to do, it's going to take all the information in your environment, right? It's going to filter out that information, and as a confirmation bias, it's going to reflect back to you what you actually subconsciously believe. So yes, you are dressed in your CEO with your business name, right? Divinely Kissed, make sure y'all check her out. You are dressed as a business owner. You're dressed as a corporate leader. You're dressed as XYZ that you are affirming on your conscious mind. However, that subconscious mind doesn't believe it. And because it doesn't believe it, it's going to reflect back to you in your conscious environment all the confirmational biases to what you subconsciously believe. So let's talk about the reticular activating system in another way so you guys kind of see what I'm saying. So let's say, for example, that you want to buy a car, right? And this actually happened to me a year or so ago. I wanted a car, particularly it was an Audi Q8, all white with the black wheels and chrome grille, okay? And I wanted the peanut butter seats, right? Full shebang bang. Immediately, y'all, it was like I was seeing this car everywhere, like literally everywhere. I mean, it went from Teslas and Subarus and Toyotas to this car. I was like, what? It was everywhere. And what that reflected back to me, it wasn't that the cars just magically appeared because I said I wanted it. Those cars were already there. These cars already existed. Because my conscious mind wanted it, and I put into my program mind, in my programming that this is what I want, this is what I deserve, this is what I need, and my mind was in alignment, my subconscious mind was in alignment with that, like, yeah, girl. So we started seeing it more often. So the same thing went for when I was in a more negative mindset about myself on something. I started getting more confirmation in my environment that was telling me, yeah, you're right. You're not qualified for this. Yeah, your business is not growing. Yeah, right? Because of what my subconscious mind believed based on what I was allowing myself to want to see at the time. I was only able to see what my subconscious mind was presenting to me because that's what I truly believed at one point in time, right? So in the negative aspect, when I had a negative mindset about my business, I was being affirmed in my environment about that negative aspect about my business. When I was looking at cars and I wanted a particular car, my mind was like, hey, we're in agreement for that car. Let's see this car everywhere we go now, so we'll let you know you're in alignment for this car. The same thing is true for anything in your life that you want. It's going to take active, conscious, and subconscious merging for you to start reprogramming your mind to receive the life and the wealth, et cetera, that you want to not just attract, but to magnetize and expand. So what I want you guys to do when you're looking at your astrology charts, right, or getting your astrology charts read, I want you guys to really take heed of what planets or transits are affecting your first house and your 12th house, and what light is being brought into those areas. Because particularly in those two areas is where you really want them to work together. You don't want them to be at odds with each other, because although in your conscious mind, you could be saying these positive affirmations and you'd be like, well, why are these affirmations not working? It's because you haven't punctured into that subconscious mind to help it change it around. So it has to start small. One of the ways that it starts small for you guys to practice this on your own, I want you guys to practice reprogramming your reticular activating system, which is found in your brain. Neurology, neuroscience is all, they talk about this. So there's all science-based and fact. Okay. Because one thing about me, I like my spirituality to be practical, okay? I want you guys to start imagining hearts, right? Everywhere you go, I just want you to say, you know what, mind, show me hearts. And that might show up on a bumper sticker, it might show up on a t-shirt, it might show up on your coffee, little design when they make you a little cute cappuccino, wherever you see, I want you to start paying attention now, and it's gonna kind of start showing to you hearts. And once you start seeing that, then I want you to give yourself another day and tell yourself you want to see something else, right? And do this day in and day out. And eventually, what's going to happen, and it works, what's going to happen, you have successfully reprogrammed your mind, your subconscious mind, to start being in alignment with your conscious mind. So now that your conscious mind can affirm, and then your subconscious mind will confirm it for you. So it works together. And if you find yourself paying attention to more than quote unquote negative things that you are experiencing in life, then allow that to be something where you could start now telling your mind, like, you know what, let's see it differently. Let's see this such and such way. But start small first. Start with the hearts. Let me know how that worked out for you. And if you guys are interested in working with me, all my booking links are below. I do astrology readings, oracle tarot, as well as consultations for coaching, for long-term help as well, for those who are looking forward to being more in tune with the feminine spiritual arts. So if that's you are into the feminine spiritual arts of beauty, magnetism, and alchemy, then we can actually do a consultation to see exactly where you are in your life and how that I can help you get to the goals that you want to achieve in your life, right? All right, ladies, this is your friend, your girl, the spiritual baddie herself, Tahiri Divine, here for the spiritual baddies who love astrology, tarot, and all the things that are mystical, mysticism, as well as practicality in their spirituality. Then I am your friend and your girl. Until next time, much love, guys. Bye.